Clark is there, and he scores! What a silly goal to give away, and what an opportunist first goal for Everton for Wayne Clark.
I suppose if there is one disappointment attached to winning the championship, it must be that you're denied yet again the opportunity of competing in the European Cup.
That is desperately disappointing, and we earned that right a couple of seasons ago, and we were denied the opportunity to compete in what I believe is the #1 European competition. Again, we won the championship and there's no Europe. We just hope that the ban is lifted very, very soon, and we hope that we are champions when that ban is lifted. That would be the aim, because then we would be competing in what we feel is our right, really, after what we've done.
There have been little suggestions in the press this week that you could be opting for Europe anyway, and maybe, you know, moving off to
there's all kinds of speculations. I mean, I was so disappointed the other day. I mean, I pick up the newspapers, and there's all kinds of figures about contracts. It doesn't do anybody any favours. I mean, the chairman has hinted that he will be talking with me about an extension to my present contract, and I'll be delighted to talk to him.
So has this title possibly been the most satisfying achievement that you've had in football as a player and as a manager?
Yeah, I think that when you look back on it, the first one, that people always turn around and say, well, you've got to regard the first one as the greatest achievement, and you'll always remember that one. I will. But when you look back at this season, I think that you can, after the disappointment of last season, I think this one's been a little bit special.
It's certainly been special. Congratulations, Howard. And with me now, a man that I'm sure Howard would glad to see the back of, Ian Rush of Liverpool. Welcome, Ian.
Thank you.
Now, listen, I hope you're talking to him, by the way, after I'm beating you on who's the greatest.
Who's the greatest, yeah. Now, let's be fair, you bribed the jury, didn't you?
Well, we had Stan Boardman there, so...
yeah, you had Stan Boardman, I had Ted Rogers. The whole thing was chaos. Rushy won the game, and I finished up with a ceramic dusty bin. Never mind. Well done, Ian.
Now, they tell me the lads have been winding you up all week at Liverpool, Ian.
Oh, yes, because it's my final week with Liverpool. So even this morning, as I was on my way here, I think someone looked in my bag to get my gear out, and there was no tie there, there's only one shoe, so someone's taking the mickey. I think I got a good idea who it is.
It shows as well, actually, it does notice.
This is a gaffer's tie.
Oh, is it? Don't worry, Ian's still got his trainers on under there, so don't worry about it.
There's some great memories, Ian, in your seasons at Liverpool. Now, what about the final against Everton? That must have been a bit special.
Yes, I think I've been at the club 7 years now, and I think this really was the best game I've enjoyed all my life, because it was my first FA Cup final. It was to do the double, and it was against Everton. So I think everything was in one there, and scoring 2 goals just capped it up for me.
This is the second one coming up now.
Which you said you're fed up looking at this.
I'm fed up looking at this because it's in our titles every week here. I keep waiting for you to miss that camera, but you never do. Yeah. It was a great goal, wasn't it? Must have given you a great deal of satisfaction, that.
Yes, give me a great deal of satisfaction, because I used to support Everton as well, so...
and you've equalled Dixie's record of, what, was it 19 goals?
Yes, it was 19 goals.
In derby matches?
Yeah, in derby games, and I think when the game against Everton went 1-3-1, I think it just savaged a bit of pride in Liverpool's season, because we played Everton 5 times now this season, and they haven't beat us yet.
Yeah, but they're still #1. Now, going back then to your highlights, the European Cup final in Rome. And now, had to take a penalty kick there. Now, tell us about that, Ian, taking a penalty in a European Cup final.
Well, I think it was very nerve-wracking. I think we were all in the centre spot, and just walking up there and all the crowd booing you was absolutely terrible. So I just put it down and just went and scored. And once I scored, it was just no reaction of relief.
Now, what did you think about Brucey when he was doing all this?
At the time, no, we didn't know. It's only until we seen it on video that the lads couldn't believe it.
Do you think he put him off in any way? Because he definitely crosses himself. He does more than that when he misses the penalty.
Yeah, I think he must have put him off because the fella's a well-known international as well.
Yeah.
And, no, being Bruce says he's a character anyway, so I think he must have put him off.
Yeah.
Now, you're moving off to Juventus. When will that happen?
Well, I actually start my first day's training on July the 25th, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's by sheer coincidence, you know. I played my last game at Chelsea before going to Italy, you know. I was back in 4 months. But you don't think you'll be?
Well, I hope not. I think if I am back before then, it'll be, you know, absolutely terrible.
You're linking up with Michael Laudrup, seen scoring here, Ian. You must be looking forward to that.
Yes, I've only seen him, I think I've seen more of him in the World Cup than anything. And Jan Moby, his Danish teammate, has told me a lot about him. And he said he's very fast. And he said he's got very good ball control. So at the end of the day, I think I'm looking very forward to teaming up with him.
You've had 7 seasons at Liverpool, phenomenal 206 goals, which is incredible record. What will you be looking for out there? The same sort of hit rate, or do you think it's going to be a bit harder? Have you accepted it might be harder?
Yeah, I've accepted it's going to be harder. You're not going to score as many goals because, first of all, you don't play as many games. But I think you're always looking for perfection. And although you're never going to get it, but you keep going and I just try and get as many goals as I can. I can't say how many goals I'll score because I don't really know what the league's going to be like until I actually play there.
And you said you see yourself out there for a long time, Ian, do you?
Well, hopefully. It all depends on how well I do out there and depends whether I settle down. If I settle down and I enjoy the lifestyle and everything like that, hopefully I will stay up there, but if not...
Well, an old teammate of yours went over to Italy, Graham Souness, then came back to this country and has had phenomenal success at Glasgow Rangers. Did you feel that Graham would be a great manager?
Oh, I think Liverpool have missed the likes of Graham Souness this season, not just for his play, but I think, you know, captaining on the pitch, because on the pitch, I say not just his play, it's his captaincy, and he inspires people. He wants to be a winner, and I think that's what Liverpool have missed more than anything this season.
Yeah, the inspiration of Graham Souness.
He's certainly done it there, hasn't he? Yeah. With the help of a few Saxons, I must add.
Well, Ian, all the best to this, and I hope you sign off English football with a goal. I mean, the Chelsea fans might not fancy that, but I think the rest of the supporters in Britain will be looking for you to score today, and good luck in Italy.
Good luck, pal.
Right, from the big winners of the season to potential losers. As you can see, the position at the bottom of the First Division absolutely critical for Manchester City, Leicester and Charlton. Now already relegated are Aston Villa, and that has cost Billy McNeill his job, only 3 weeks after this statement on the show from Villa chairman Doug Ellis.
The supporters, the public, the media insist upon success in every locality. And if in fact managers don't bring success, then the public, you know, cry for their heads. But I've always said, you know, it's not chairmen or directors that sack managers. It is players that sack managers. The game's about players, not about managers or chairmen.
Well, they are, Greavsie, so Billy McNeill must have a meeting with the players for sacking them.
Well, I know, yeah, I think what Doug meant to say is that players get managers the sack, and I suppose they do, to a degree, and then but it is the manager that selects the players, isn't it?
Yes, but I mean...
I know you're into sacking all chairmen and directors in the game, and I would not disagree with you either, Saint.
I don't feel that 8 months was long enough for Billy McNeill there. I just don't think that.
I think Doug was in a very desperate situation. He wants to see Aston Villa succeed, and I think it was a little bit courageous. I think Billy knew the score.
Well, who will take over then?
Well, the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, we all hope that he gives it to Ron Atkinson because we felt that Ron was the man for the job 2 seasons ago. But apparently there are some big names in the melting pot. We'll have to see.
Okay. Right, well, there will be a real dogfight going on this afternoon to decide those final playoff places. But perhaps the biggest spotlight of all will be trained right at the bottom of Division 4, where one of the most famous English clubs, Burnley, are fighting for their very existence. Here's our reporter, Martin Tyler.
Well, I'm sure both of you back in the studio have great memories of First Division battles here against Burnley in the 60s. And really, Turf Moor is still a stadium worthy of the top flight. And it does seem simply astonishing that come 20 to 5 this afternoon, Burnley may well be out of the Football League. After some unsuccessful straw clutching this week, Burnley must beat Orient here this afternoon and pray that either Torquay have faltered at home to Crewe or that Lincoln have lost at Swansea. Otherwise, there'll be no league football here next season. A founder member, a former champion of the league, will be expelled. There's still grandeur at Turf Moor, reminders of the times when Bob Lord was an autocratic but effective chairman. Above all, Burnley were a club which had a unique skill in scouting and developing their own talented youngsters.
Coach, what a goal! Keith Newton.
Fletcher, a great shot! What a fantastic shot from Fletcher! Dave Thomas trying to get it over. And it's Dobson!
Shielding that ball from Mullery and finding Newton, the little chip in. And he's onside, is he? And it's a goal given.
Leighton James is back at Turf Moor again. Can he inspire today's team? Managed by a member of the 1960 League Championship winning side, Brian Miller.
Well, you know, we've been going through different things all week, but basically I feel this afternoon it's occasion. I think that's the thing that's going to be the main thing with the players, the motivation really. We've been through little bits of things which you do for the game, but I think the crowd reaction, which was fantastic against Southend and Rochdale away, and I think the occasion and the crowd, the atmosphere, everything, will be the motivation for the players.
If Burnley do go out, Brian, what will it mean to you?
It'll mean everything really, because you know I started the club at 15 in the office. I have been here roughly 32 years, and I came to support the club when they got promotion from the second division and got to Fallin from 1946 onwards. And Burnley Football Club to me and to a lot of people in the town is everything. It's like a cornerstone of the town. It's Burnley Football Club, you know, you relate Burnley to Burnley Football Club, I should think, in many respects. And it's just unbearable to think about it, actually.
It rather is, actually. It's very sad when you think of the days at Burnley, a great side. Well, good luck to Burnley, whatever happens. Good luck.
Now, our bet, Jim, for the year will not be decided because of the games today, playoff situation. Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll leave it over to Cup Final next Saturday.
Yes, why not?
And we'll have a look at our selections for the year.
Okay.
Now, what about your player of the year, Jim? I know that the PFA picked one and the press picked one, but who do you think is a player of the year?
Well, I'd go for Paul Goddard, for starters, because I think he was the one man that kept Newcastle up. I know players played all season, but when he went there, 8 goals in 9 games, I think enabled them to stay in the First Division. It did tremendously well. And, of course, Clive Allen, who, it's got to be said, has had a marvellous season without his goal scoring. I feel Spurs would have struggled up front.
Right.
That's it.
Well, I'll tell you who I will go for. Ian Rush. I know he's just disappeared to Chelsea, but it was a hard season for him, Jim, because, you know, he was leaving. He could easily have switched off. He'd signed for Juventus, but he battled away, and his goals were vital for Liverpool this year, kept him actually up there, challenging for the championship all season. Now, Glenn Hoddle, I would also pick. I love to see Glenn Hoddle play, one of my favourite players, all the skill in the world, and again, we're losing him at the end of the season, and I think that will be sad, Jim, and I think Glenn has kept Tottenham going, and I'm looking for a great performance.
We did rather well with our choices there, Sam.
Right. Now, managers of the year, who would you choose?
Well, I've got to go for Davy Bassett at Wimbledon, because I think when Wimbledon first came into the First Division, none of us really gave them a realistic chance. They haven't really got a squad that's capable of staying there, but not only have they stayed there, they've beaten a lot of great sides. And, of course, my old pal Snoz, what more can you say? He's taking them on the road to Wembley, the old bald-headed coot. And yours?
Well, I think it's only right that I stick with Scotland, Jim. And Jim McLean had a fabulous season. 2 cup finals. It's not all over yet. We know that. But, you know, I do think that he's had a super season, and we wish him well in both of those finals. And I also think that Graham
soaked up any pressure and obviously kept him out.
And the fans were magnificent.
Well, you know, it's not just First Division clubs that can bring a big crowd down from wherever they come from and enjoy it. It happens in the second, it happens in the third, and it happens in the Fourth Division. And possibly a little bit more thought should be put into Third and Fourth Division fans. As you said tonight, here they were fantastic for us.
2 more days, it will be June. When do you start again?
Oh, don't remind me. I've had a few awkward questions put to me tonight about when we go back to training and will I be at Swindon. And, you know, I just want to enjoy tonight. It doesn't happen very often.
Will you be at Swindon?
Please, Gerald, let me enjoy tonight.
I think you're entitled to. Very well done.
Well done, thank you.
And now our happy resident Swindon supporter down at Lingfield for the racing today. Watched the match last night and injured yourself, Julian, didn't you? You weren't being a hooligan or anything, were you?
No, you saw there was a great second goal. It was terribly well worked by Peter Coyne and Dave Bamber, and a great finish by Steve White.
Wasn't a touch of handball about it, was there?
You must be looking at a funny monitor today, Desmond. No, we got a little bit of a wound, I'm afraid.
Did you?
Well,
go on then. You don't often see this, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not the first time this year that I've jumped out of my seat, but the thing is that the seats at Palace are a bit different to the ones at Swindon, and I landed badly. So I'm not sure if I get through 10 overs tomorrow.
Of course, you sit in the posh seats, don't you, down at Swindon, I suppose, and they're all padded for you. Anyway, it was a great occasion. What are they going to do in the second division, do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm very hopeful that Louis will stay with us, and there's absolutely no reason to believe that he won't. And he's a man who adjusts to every different situation, and he's going to start at scratch again. We had to start at scratch again in Division 3, and let's hope it'll happen in Division 2. I mean, the great strength of Louis' management, in my opinion, is that, first of all, he knows the strengths of players. He gets players 100% fit. He believes in the old-fashioned values of players looking after themselves. And secondly, he keeps the players on their toes. And apart from the goalkeeper, nobody quite knows if they're playing in the next game, because every game's taken on its merit.
You've gone for about 3 hours about Swindon. How long have you been supporting them now?
It's about 35 years now, Des, but last night was certainly one of the great nights, and it was very kind of Louis to invite me into the dressing room afterwards, but it was rather adding insult to injury when he called everyone to hush, and he said, "Here's the good news, boys," he said.
Well, I think Snoz can cha-cha down the tunnel, and if Clive Allen wants to break any more records, I suggest he starts with that one, Sane.
So you think Coventry's a winner?
Quite probably.
Bye-bye.